Our group will be doing a media analysis on the perfect gymnast body. Gymnastics is a sport that relies on strength and flexibility to devote to its aestheticness. Through vigorous and long hours of training, the physical culture in gymnastics promotes a high level of physical fitness. Gymnastics is a sport that requires discipline and training as well as nutrition. With time, athletes develop a strong sense of coordination and agility. Since it's a sport that relies on the aesthetic presentation, the techniques that gymnasts perform are perfected. This raises concerns since the athletes are put under pressure and have harsh, long practices to achieve this goal. Gymnasts are critiqued on their poise and interpretation of art through their performances. This sets a standard that is often viewed as irrational and unrealistic. It puts gymnasts under pressure regarding body image. The main concerns of gymnastics are body image and nutrition. The sport promotes the idea that athletes must have a slim figure, and the way that athletes have to reach a certain body type is most times done in an unhealthy way. Many athletes are malnourished and overtrained, which leads to the exhaustion of their bodies and increases their chance of injury. The body of a gymnast is referred to as the perfect body. The pressure the gymnasts face to have this body leads to the deterioration of their mental health and self-esteem. Due to this, many gymnasts suffer from eating disorders. Food is fuel, however, the consumption of food for these athletes is limited and restricted to avoid any weight gain, which leads to their malnutrition and causes serious health issues, including affecting their balance. It's important that gymnastics gets promoted in a healthy way to reduce setting any false and unrealistic standards for the athletes. Gymnastics holds an importance in contemporary society. The promotion of physical well-being by exercising is one way this sport is important. This allows for better health regarding the cardiorespiratory fitness, muscular fitness, flexibility, etc., leading to a more healthy and active lifestyle. Additionally, it allows for development of life skills such as self-discipline, time management, and perseverance. Gymnastics cultivates a sense of building community, which allows a support system as well as make room for progress and group motivation. In the video, gymnasts expressed their struggles and the issues that they faced. One of the main topics was that they were constantly checking their weight and measuring themselves and watching what they were eating to regulate their weight. Another concern was being scared to hit puberty, and they tried to delay it as much as possible because they believed that once you hit puberty, your career would end because of the way your body changes. Most of the concerns revolved around how bad they felt about their body and that they should feel a certain way or look a certain way or be shredded. That was their only goal, and they were perfecting their body. They thought that if they were thinner, they would perform better, and that they believed that performance was solely based on their body weight. This led to overtraining and eating disorders, and it became normalized.
The obsession with the way their body looks or body weight comes from what they've been told. Sometimes they were told that if you eat dessert, you can gain weight, and that resting is lazy, and that means you're not trying hard enough, or taking a day off means you're going to gain weight, or being in pain means you gain weight, and it means that if you gain weight, you're not good enough, or your performance is not the same. They were harshly criticized if they gained weight or looked overweight, and they were praised when they lose weight.
The sport of gymnastics is a sport that demonstrates skill and flexibility, but when it becomes elite and competitive, its culture can cause negative outcomes. The competitive culture of gymnastics promotes the mindset of performance over health. Within the perfect gymnast body, a toxic illusion, it presents the ways in which young athletes are being taught that resting was considered lazy and that if you rested, you weren't trying hard enough. With this mindset, it puts young girls and boys in the gym 24/7 and ultimately leads to burnout, injury, and issues with mental and emotional health. The culture of gymnastics illustrates unrealistic outcomes and unsustainable goals for all athletes. When the body is perceived as a machine, it is understood that it can perform tasks, be optimized or repaired, and can endure pain and injury. Although this is true, it reduces athletes to their biology, function, or achievements and normalizes pain and risk. The contradiction to this is that sport supposedly equals health, yet when viewing the body as a machine, this may not always be the case. Following the idea of power, gymnasts listen to what coaches, parents, and judges say due to the power that they withhold. In this case, power refers to the people who provide resources that can exert influence and control over a gymnast. A coach's power is shown when they provide training instructions, guidance, and support to gymnasts in order to win. Having this amount of power can also cause a gymnast to do certain things. This can be seen when a coach makes comments on a gymnast's body and or praises them when they lose weight. This causes the gymnast to lose weight and ultimately can lead to an eating disorder. Parents also have power since they provide the gymnasts with resources by buying them their outfits, dropping them off at their competitions and training sessions, make decisions, and provide them with support. Since the parent exerts power, they also have the ability to make gymnasts do certain things. Hence, if parents also make comments on their gymnast's child's body, this could influence them to find ways to change their body and potentially develop an eating disorder. A judge exerts power by determining if gymnasts will win a medal or not. Thus, the people who have power can all influence a gymnast's eating behavior if they make comments on their body or emphasize the need to look a certain way. Additionally, bigger issues arise in the gymnastics culture when influential figures such as parents, coaches, and peers are promoting the perfectionist mindset when they say that perfection is the goal instead of progress is the goal. Gymnastics is an aesthetic sport which focuses a lot on appearance. The physical culture of gymnastics emphasizes that a great deal that socially constructed views on how a man and a woman should look. A woman should be thin, young, graceful, elegant, and feminine. This can all be emphasized and seen in the sport of gymnastics. Someone who doesn't fit these socially constructed gender norms can be seen as different and less likely to engage in the sport of gymnastics altogether. As well, it can cause others to change themselves in order to fit the standard. There has been evidence to go along with this. According to one survey, 28% of all elite gymnasts and their mothers reported disordered eating behaviors, and the NCAA report that gymnasts show a higher rate of disordered eating than other athletes, with levels between 51 and 62%. Also in Global News, they state, young girls were virtually starved, constantly body shamed, and forced to train with broken bones or other injuries, according to interviews in the lawsuit. Their myriad diets and extreme training often delayed puberty, which some coaches believe was such determinant that they ridiculed girls who started their menstrual cycles. This is related to infantilization and objectification. Athletes are afraid of going through puberty and ultimately try to delay it, and this puts much emphasis to have a childlike body which is small, youthful, and has no curves.
In a systematic review by Vollecker in 2022, it reinforces the notion that gymnasts all have very similar experiences. Evidence proves that what was stated in the media is a very common thing that gymnasts experience, such as coaches emphasizing the importance of weight and appearance, enforcing limited calorie intake, and making negative comments on a gymnast's body. Research has also concluded that weight pressures from coaches are correlated to disordered eating and can influence the onset of an eating disorder.
Physical culture refers to the overall understanding and practice of physical activity, exercise, and movement within a particular culture or society. It encompasses various aspects such as physical fitness, athleticism, sports, body image, and other values associated with these concepts. The human condition refers to the totality of experiences, emotions, challenges, and circumstances that define human existence. It often encompasses both physical and psychological aspects of being human, including factors like self-esteem, self-judgment, mental health, emotional well-being, and physical health. Watching the perfect gymnast body, a toxic illusion, physical culture plays a significant role in shaping the human condition, particularly in the sport of gymnastics. Gymnastics, like many other sports, often places an emphasis on achieving the perfect body image or physique, which can create unrealistic and dangerous cultural undertones. These undertones can lead to negative consequences for young boys and girls who, participating in gymnastics, already have existing struggles with self-esteem, self-judgment, and negative self-talk. Identified in the video is the need to dismantle these unrealistic and often dangerous cultural undertones in gymnastics that promote the idea of the perfect gymnast body. The challenge involves recognizing and addressing the toxic illusion created by the expectations that have potential negative impacts on the mental health and the emotional and physical health of young gymnasts. Culture fits into this challenge by being both a contributing factor and a potential solution. The emphasis on body image and the pursuit of perfection within gymnastics perpetuates the negative culture surrounding the physical appearance, which can lead to disorder eating and other harmful behaviors. Study weight pressures and eating disorder symptoms among adolescents, female gymnasts of different performance levels in Greece highlights the weight-sensitive and weight-bearing nature of gymnastics, emphasizing the importance of low body weight and fat mass combined with muscle strength and power for optimal performance. However, it is crucial to address these negative consequences associated with the pursuit of the perfect gymnast body. To achieve an unrealistic and often dangerous body ideal in gymnasts can lead to the development of eating disorders and overtraining behavior. The cultural undertone surrounding the idea of being light and having minimal body fat can create a toxic environment for young gymnasts, contributing to the spiral of negative mental, emotional, and physical health. Adolescents already struggle with self-esteem, self-judgment, and negative self-talk, and when combined with the perfectionist expectations imposed by coaches, parents, or a gym culture, these issues can escalate rapidly. The prevalence of eating disorders within the sport is a direct result of the negativity surrounding body image and gymnastics. It also ranges within the misinformation about nutrition, the latest scientific research being provided by non-professionals instead of licensed registered dietitian and nutritionist, to well-informed coaches making offhand comments or jokes about weight, body image, and performance. These practices contribute to the perpetuation of unhealthy attitudes and behaviors. The aim to focus perfect gymnast body should shift to the more holistic understanding of physical culture that values the well-being and overall development of young athletes. By doing so, we can create a healthier and more supportive environment for gymnasts where physical and mental health are prioritized over harmful ideas.
In order to move towards a meaningful change in the culture of gymnastics, these are the things we will implement, which will be discussed in detail in the next few slides. Coaches, judges, and parents should all take mandatory education and training classes, since they all hold a lot of power and we want to make them aware on how to use their power properly and effectively for the mental and physical well-being of gymnasts. It was demonstrated in the media as well as in a systematic review by Vollecker in 2022 that it was very common for coaches to make negative comments on a gymnast's body. So in the training classes, educating them on the side effects to doing this could be beneficial. As well, some coaches tend to have more of an approach that is focused on weight, and they do weight assessments, which was shown in the systematic review as well in Vollecker in 2022. So basically, if we educated them on the harmful effects of using a weight-based approach and the consequences it has on performance, it could stop some coaches from doing weight assessments and to use a more skill-based approach. As well, for coaches and parents, how to implement a safe space where a gymnast can feel like they can discuss their issues with their coach, and parents if they do have an eating disorder or going through any changes or just need some support. As well, for parents and for coaches, it's also good to educate them on how to detect if someone is experiencing an eating disorder or even just distorted eating. So that they can intervene early on and prevent it from escalating. And as well for judges, it's also important for them to be educated and to acknowledge their bias towards body sizes and the scores that they give gymnasts, and to focus more on skills solely. It's also important to have a diverse representation of all races, genders, body types, and sizes and ages, as this will encourage everyone to feel like they can fit into the physical culture of gymnastics. So we can show this with posters on social media as to encourage everyone to join. It's also important for coaches to work alongside nutritionists who can basically help and provide guidance and do nutritional assessments for a gymnast, and as well be able to detect early detection of eating disorders and distorted eating, and as well they can educate the gymnast on the importance of food. As well, it's important to have a counselor. So there's a lot of changes that happen through puberty, so this can be difficult for some gymnasts. So just having someone to talk to can help, and they can kind of give some support and help them with their transition, and as well to discuss any other issues that they're facing. And also it's really important for gymnasts and parents to have a network with eating disorder specialists so that if they do need help and support, it's easily accessible and they know where to go. So giving out brochures to gymnasts and advertising it can be a way to do that. Having a policy in place that doesn't allow anyone deemed underweight from participating in competitions would also help to prioritize health and the well-being of gymnasts, encourage fair competition, discourage gymnasts from engaging in disordered eating, and also promote skill-focused competition. We would do this by using a DEXA scale to determine someone's body fat percentage. The body fat percent will determine if a person is under the essential body fat that is needed, and that would be deemed underweight. So that would be determined through considering age, gender, height for each individual. The scores would not be given to judges, coaches, or gymnasts and would remain confidential. As well, it would be administered by someone who is trained and not affiliated with the coach, judge, parent, or gymnast in order to promote fairness and decrease the risk of bias or conflict of interests. Assessments will be done the day of the competition, and as well, it would be implemented in national and international competitions and organizations. Coaches, nutritionists, and parents should bring awareness to gymnasts on distorted eating habits and overtraining by explaining the mental and physical dangers and harm it can cause, the effect on the health and the long-term side effects, as well as the negative implications on performance.